Okay. All right. Let's see. What if the biggest shift in faith isn't between doing evil or thinking evil or wicked or bad, and doing or thinking or wanting good? What I think I always thought that. I mean, we've often kind of juxtaposed the good and evil thing to I think one one of the unspoken but sometimes thought about, rarely, I have only ever heard it voiced a few times, and is Jesus didn't come to make us very, very good. He came to give us abundant life. He didn't come to help us behave really well. He When we go back and we look at Genesis, and this isn't a theology lesson, this is just kind of like a pique the interest conversation. When we go back to Genesis and we reread the creation story, it's really easy to read it through the lens of everything that we maybe have grown up with or heard or listened to in sermons or whatever. And when we can step back away from it, I think that we see different things. I did. And I needed some help from other people seeing other things that I was missing. And some of the things that I was missing were that the biggest thing that I was missing was that that even though there is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the garden that God tells Adam to not eat of, he doesn't tell Eve not to eat of it. He tells Adam not to eat of it. And but the thing is, that's all one tree. The good and evil are two branches on the same tree. They're not two different trees. So it's not really about good and evil. It's it's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's the being in the place of deciding what is okay and what is not okay, what is good, what is evil, when something is good or evil, if maybe something can be sometimes good and sometimes evil. So what Adam and Eve were choosing between wasn't the good branch of the tree or the evil branch of the tree. What they were choosing between was the tree of life and their connection to God and the source of God, and that well of God that was coming up through them in their very identity and bubbling out over the rest of their life, that they made the choice to switch their identity and their beliefs and their source to, oh, we can know good and evil and we can choose what we want to choose. And so what if, instead of this battle between good and evil, what if it's a battle between, it's a spiritual thing. I'm using that in a spiritual sense. What if it's between choosing to rest in the life that comes from having our identity in and connecting ourselves to God, and choosing to be our own God in a way that we just need the knowledge to do the right thing and to not do the wrong thing, so that we can make the choices for ourselves on our own as our own source. What do you think? I'd love to know what you think. Have you heard that before? How does it resonate with you? What questions does it bring up for you? I think God wants us to be really curious and engage with Him, and asking questions, and as much as we can in our lives, bring back that sense of Adam and Eve walking with the garden. What if that's what Jesus came to do, is to restore what happened before Adam and Eve chose to eat the fruit? What if we are looking at life since that time through such a different lens than Adam and Eve had for that first little bit? We don't know how long it was, that first little bit of the time that they lived and walked in the garden and walked with God and spent the evenings with him until they chose to eat of that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. What if we can get that back? What if Jesus came to restore that connection so that we could know who we are and walk in the reality of who God made us to be? What if that's real freedom? Would you want it? Let me know in the comments. I'm also interested to know if you would like to have a private, non-Facebook community that's free, where we can talk about things and you don't have to worry about being discovered in the comments by somebody who might be trying to use something against you, because I know that for some women in our situations that can be an issue. I would have felt uncomfortable doing this probably 4 or 5 years ago, and before that too. So let me know if you would like that, and I'll get something set up. I'm probably going to set something up anyway, but I'm curious to know if you'd like to do that. Of course, if you're not comfortable commenting, then you probably won't comment, but maybe you could leave a heart emoji or something like that, and I will look for that. I'm so glad that you joined me. I'm honored that you would spend this time with me and share your time with me. I hope this is helpful. If it is, I'd love for you to subscribe and follow along for more. We're going to keep talking. I've got some more things coming up that I'm really excited to share with you. And this has been therapeutic for me too. I hope that it's been helpful for you. It's been just really encouraging. It's been like building up rocks and remembering the things that God has been showing me and the opportunities that I've had to get curious. And the opportunities that I've had to get curious with him, and the shift in my own identity and the shift in my own beliefs as far as the levels of change go. And I'm excited to be able to share that with you, and I'm glad that you're here. And I hope to see you. Let's see. I'm Stephanie, and if you're new here, I'm Stephanie, and I help women who love Jesus find healing and freedom after the trauma of abuse or betrayal. And I hope to see you in the next video.